It's time! Hey there, Heather Ho, there's Jeff Cutter Diamond, and I just got off the phone with my good friend Bill Lang, so I forgot to do the wardrobe change. That's what live TV will do to you. Yeah, my hair. I shouldn't worry about my hair because I don't really have a lot of hair left. So anyway, it's been a while since I've done this one. I think it was late June when I did this, but things kept happening, and Blue Jay games and all that. So I ended up not doing it. I burped. Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah. So you'll be noticing a few changes. Well, I don't have the light on because it's still daylight out. I know it's a basement window, but it's still daylight, so at least you can see me. Anyway, so as you can see, I added some new stuff. I got a Raptors pennant and a Toronto Maple Leafs pennant on top of my Kitchener Rangers pennant that you probably saw last time. Unfortunately, for some strange reason, the glue would not hold my Toronto Blue Jays pennant. So you'll find a Toronto Blue Jays pennant soon enough. I just have to figure out how to put it on. Like I put the tape on and all that, like with the Leafs pennant. But maybe it's because the pennant is hanging off of it. I might have to move the Leafs one closer to the Rangers one, and then there'll be a little bit more room for the Blue Jays one. But anyway, so remember when I said that I bought 400 hockey cards, and then I unpacked one card for every subscriber, and I was at 223 or something? Of course, I've only had 10 subscribers since the last one, so instead of just pulling 10 hockey cards and just wasting your time, I'm going to do the whole shebang. Now, these cards, of course, are all from the Lookin For Heroes thing in Kitchener, in downtown Kitchener. So, yeah. Can't remember the story and all that, but yeah. So, I'm going to just pull them. Now, these cards are free-based, but they're the ones that I pulled out of the bag, that one bag, and then, of course, that was half of the bag. So, anyway. First off is Andreas Avenasiu. And, of course, I'm going to probably butcher my name. So, Avenasiu is here. This was when he was with the Kings. He was a Detroit Icon, and then they traded him to Edmonton. I think before COVID hit, and now he ended up being in Los Angeles. So, 23 points in 47 games for Avenasiu. Next up, CHL card of Justin Hall from Lethbridge. I don't know if he played in the NHL, but Justin Hall. Agnes McDowell of the Sarnia Sting. He was picked in the priority deal, and Agnes McDowell. I don't think I know he's 17, 18-ish, but I don't think he's the NHL anymore. Anyway. Oh, here we go. Former Leaf Michael Bunting with the Coyotes. Bunting was a decent winger for the Coyotes, and then the Leafs decided, hey, let's take Michael Bunting, and he's been pretty good. I can't remember. I think he's not with the Leafs anymore. Anyway, here's another QHL card. Phil Rochette of the Quebec Ramparts. Hopefully, yeah, he would be. 2021 would be his overage year, so he wouldn't be eligible for the 2023 Quebec Ramparts team. Connor Treadholm of the St. John Sea Dogs. Well, he was Cape Breton, and then they traded him to St. John. So Connor Treadholm, don't think he's in the NHL. Another St. John Sea Dog by the name of William Villeneuve. So, yeah, they got him. Niall Crocker of Lethbridge. Sorry, Lethbridge, my butt. Prince Albert, yeah. Niall Crocker. Max Lindgren of the Kamloops Blazers. Lindgren. Doing okay, but yeah, Max Lindgren. I don't know if his father. I know there was a Max Lindgren that played hockey with the Rangers. Others. Here we go. Another OPG 2021 card of and that's Nathan McKinnon of the Avalanche. This was when he had 65 points in 48 games because, the COVID ruined the 2021 season in a sense that there were 4 divisions based on geographical differences. So if you were a Leaf fan like myself, you would only watch. Well, the Leafs would only face the other 6 Canadian teams: Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, Montreal, Ottawa, and Vancouver. And Toronto won that division, which was great, but Montreal screwed us over. So there's a Nathan McKinnon. Another one in the Sharks reverse retro, that's Kevin LeBlanc. I feel like his name is wrong. It should be LeBlanc, not LeBlanc. There should be an L in there, but yeah. So Kevin LeBlanc, that's what I'm called. Nick Backstrom of the Capitals, the guy who liked to pass to Alex Ovechkin, getting lots of assists. He's close to 1,000. I think he got 1,000 points in his NHL career, but Nick Backstrom, yeah. Adrian Kempf from the LA Kings, decent player and all that. So Adrian Kemp. Yeah, a lot of these are the OPGs. Another OPG, Nico Hischler. For the Devils, down from 20 to 6 goals. So Hischler was struggling, but I think he's picked up a little bit. So Hischler there. Nicola Ehlers of the Winnipeg Jets. There's his card, Ehlers. 20-plus goals almost every year. The man from Denmark. Very good Jet. Jesper Bratt. I guess he is a Brat if you're a New York Ranger fan. Jesper Bratt. Another OPG is Dominic Kubiak. This was his second year as a Blackhawk. Kubiak was a good Blackhawk. People forget that Dominic Kubiak used to play for Kitchener. So we got that. Johnny Gaudreau of the Flames. Johnny Gaudreau, when he was a Flame and didn't want to fly to Columbus, that actually bit Gaudreau in the butt because Calgary was a decent team, but Columbus wasn't. Gaudreau kind of wanted to play for a contender. And Calgary isn't it. That's stupid. Another OPG, Brian Dumoulin of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Defenseman. Decent defenseman from Maine. Tomas Tatar Sauce from when he played for the Habitants. He was a Detroit icon, then went to Vegas. The 2018 season, that was when Vegas was chasing and getting to the Stanley Cup Finals. And then he signed a year with Montreal, got to play in the 2021 Stanley Cup Finals as a member of the Habitants, who somehow took care of the Leafs after being down 3-1. That was bad enough. But then, Montreal I think they swept Winnipeg, didn't they? They swept Winnipeg, and then they took care of Vegas in the semifinals before facing Tampa in the final. Here's a Leaf, Nick Foligno, when he was with the Leafs. He played a lot of time with Ottawa. Then he went to Columbus, and then the Leafs decided to have him. They always wanted Nick Foligno, but he was always out of their shadow. And Foligno would actually be part of the 2020 Columbus team that took care of Toronto in the play-in tournament. But yeah, Nick Foligno, too little too late for the Leafs to get him. But Foligno's father, Mike Foligno, played for the Leafs and scored a famous overtime goal in 1993 in the playoffs against the Red Wings. Not that one, not the Game 7 one, the Game 5 one. This was totally random. Marcus Foligno was the next OPG card. Yeah, he played for Buffalo and then went to Minnesota and did okay, but yeah, Marcus is there too. Kind of weird how they put both Lingos in there. Travis Konecny of the Flyers. The Flyers, seriously, the Flyers. Yeah, Konecny from London, Ontario. Spit. Kevin Rooney of the New York Rangers. Yeah, he was a Devil. I forgot he was a Devil before a Ranger. Yeah, Kevin Rooney not really doing so well. He plays like Andy Rooney, well, having the grace of Mickey Rooney. And that's just all there is to it with that guy. Matthew Barzal of the Cupcakes are the New York Islanders. So Barzal, his 2021 card for the Islanders. You know, the Islanders really have given him power. Sergei Bobrovsky of the Florida Panthers, when he played for the Panthers, when he started with the Panthers, second season with the Panthers in 2021. I know he was a Flyers and Jackets icon, but he was getting close to 300 wins. Well, this is 2021, and Bobrovsky easily got his 300th win. And Bobrovsky turned back the hands of time and took care of the Leafs in the second round of the playoffs. Well, I mean, the first round he took care of Boston, and then he took care of the Leafs. And then another goalie, Vitek Vanacek, his rookie card with Washington. Washington got rid of Braden Holtby for this guy. Kind of move. All right, so nothing major has happened. Got a few more big packs to go. No one's watching as of right now. Of course, you know, like you'll be able to watch the stream and all that. No big deal. Oops. Speak of the devil, someone is watching, so that's good. So anyway, excuse me. So anyway, yeah, I'm just drinking Summersby apple beer. Don't worry, I'm over 18. I'm double that age. I'm 38. So yeah, I know people say, "Oh, you look 30." I know, I do look 30. So anyway, someone's watching me. Somebody's watching me. Well, it's a stream after all. I wonder who that is. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, so if you're watching this and you subscribe to my channel, like if you subscribe right now, you'll have to wait 5 minutes before you can send messages. It's just a thing and all that. Hopefully I don't have to get angry with you and all that. But if you are a subscriber of my channel, someone's thumbs up. So it must be somebody I know. If I can guess, maybe it's Clee Baseball fan. Maybe it's Eddie Geik. Maybe it's Al Red Sox fan. Or maybe it's my good friend Bill Lang. So we'll see. Okay. Gotta shoot the breeze for a few minutes before I get to the next set pack. Okay, so I don't know much about the trade deadline for Major League Baseball because I know it ended, and I know it's today. But you know, coming home at 3:30 in the afternoon, preparing for this. So I'm just gonna take a look at the MLB trade deadline and just see what's going on. Checking now. Where's Red Sox? Baseball's craziest day. Okay, here we go. There's a trade deadline tracker for ESPN. Love it. ESPN sometimes cannot do hockey that well, but baseball is like all that. Live updates. Okay, so there's a completed trade. Philadelphia will get Michael Lorenzen from the Tigers. So that's a big trade by the Phillies, getting Lorenzen. Phillies, of course, the NL champs last year and nearly had the World Series in their hands, but Houston got it. Minnesota could move somebody, but remember, this is like only a few minutes ago. Big trade. Houston gets Justin Verlander back from the Mets. This was huge. The Mets decided to trade away Justin Verlander back to Houston. Oh, that's a big move. The Mets wasted all their efforts to get Verlander and Scherzer, and now have dumped them both off. Scherzer's in Texas. Verlander is back to the Mets. Is back to Houston. So yeah, Houston and Texas are battling tooth and nail for the AL West, and probably the loser of that division will be one of the wild card teams out of the AL. I know that the AL East is a big pile of crap. I mean, if you're not an AL East fan, I mean, every team in the AL East, Baltimore, Tampa, Toronto, New York, and Boston are above 500 and doing quite well. I don't think the second place team in the AL Central is even close to the last place team in the AL East. But the AL East always has the knowledge. The Blue Jays have acquired Paul DeJong from St. Louis. Nice. I like that. Paul DeJong to Toronto. I like that. I'll take it. The Padres are going to get Rich Hill and G-Man Choi, or one punch man from Pittsburgh. So San Diego's making a move Pittsburgh selling. Colorado will trade Brad Hand to Atlanta for a prospect. Brad Hand's a good relief pitcher. Atlanta is stocking up. Atlanta, I believe, is the best team in the National League. So it looks like Verlander will be gone. Yep. Starting pitchers could rule true deadline date, but the Yankees movement. Bichette's injury. So I guess Bichette's injury means that Paul DeYoung is coming to Toronto. Oh boy. Oh, black sheep. Okay, so let's see. The San Fran got the trade AJ Pollock from Seattle to San Francisco. Cubs got Candelario from Washington. Mark Canha to Milwaukee from the Mets. Ooh, that's a big move. Seattle's closer goes to Arizona, Paul Seward. And it looks like Josh Rojas, Dominic Canzone, not Calzone, but Canzone, and Ryan Bliss. I believe I've seen Rojas and Canzone. I saw them when the WX faced the Jays on the 15th. CJ Crone goes to the Angels, and so is Granchek. So the Angels are trying to build up. Remember, the Blue Jays had 1, 2 out of 3 against the Angels, and the Angels couldn't do anything with runners on scoring position. So yeah, so they'll also get CJ Crone. I think he was an Angel at one time, wasn't he? So yeah, so Texas has Jordan Montgomery from St. Louis. St. Louis is really selling off. So Jordan Montgomery to Texas. Toronto picked up Jordan Hicks from the Cardinals and a couple of prospects. Houston will get Kenneth Graveman, Lennon Kelly to the Dodgers. I think we kind of knew that. Yeah, Giolotto. So, yeah. So let's see. Update. Yeah, so I think that's just basically all that there is. Probably going to be. I'm pretty upset about Bo's. JJS says. Yeah, you know what? I like Bo Bichette a little more than Vladdy Guerrero Jr. I know everyone says, oh, come on, you're a Blue Jay fan. You got to love Vladdy Jr. I mean, honestly, I like Vladdy Jr. just as much as the next guy, but I mean, it's just too predictable. Everyone likes Vladdy Jr. Bo Bichette was good, and he did decently on Saturday when I went to see the Jays against the Angels. I'll talk about my 2 Blue Jay games I went to in person in July as soon as I finish this cards thing. So anyway, of course, the card set you see there, 2 for $5, and there's allegedly 50 cards in this. It's just the same thing every year with Vladdy. Yeah, I know. But Vladdy's working on his speed and all that. It's just that, he's a fire hitter. And he did win the home run derby. That doesn't mean anything. Sometimes it doesn't mean anything, but sometimes it does. All right, so bear with me. All right, here we go. Cards first off. First card is Vincent Trocheck of the Carolina Hurricanes. He was a lifelong Panther, and then he went to Carolina. So Trocheck. Now, the majority of this is just OPGs from 2021. Another 2021 OPG. Give him a few years. He'll be up there with Trout. Well, I'm hoping that Trout thing, JJ's iPod, is that let's hope that it's not like Trout keeps missing the playoffs. I don't think Trout's ever been to the playoffs, ever. The Angels haven't been to the playoffs in 11 years, or will it be 12 years if they miss this year? So yeah, the Angels haven't been in the playoffs for the longest time in Major League Baseball as of right now. So yeah, so I'm hoping not. Okay, you got Michael Granlund, the Predators, Minnesota icon, and then he went to the Predators. Okay, now we're getting to the Upper Deck Artifacts 2022. First off is Keith Yandel, Yandel Bomb, Yandel Bomb, Yandel Bomb. He put up a 922 game streak. So 69. Oh, okay. I'm looking at the back of the card, 2020 and 2021. I remember it was 56 games for 2021, right? I think. And then 69 games for 2020. But yeah. Yes, 922 game streak. Trails Doug Jarvis. Yeah, I know Yandel beat Jarvis' streak, but then Phil Kessel's now the longest streak. I feel bad for Doug Jarvis. Yeah, Keith Yandel with the Panthers. Ranger fans will know all about Keith Yandel because we had a few years with them. Next up is Ricard Raquel, the journey of a young woman's trip from Moscow to Minsk. Seinfeld reference. So Ricard Raquel and all that. 300th point in his career. Only the seventh duck to hit 300 points as a duck. Wow. And the franchise is 3 decades old. Next up is Ethan Bear. Upper Deck extended series, but Ethan Bear, he played for Edmonton and then he moved to Carolina and all of that. At one time, they wanted him to wear a jersey on the back with his native name on it. Ojibwe? I don't know. I don't know what tribe he's from. But anyway, yeah. Ethan Bear. Pretty good player for Carolina and all that. Okay, next is Yanni Hakanpää. Hakanpää? Am I looking at the... Oh, am I giving you the... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing it wrong here. So Hakanpää with the Ducks and then Anaheim touched Carolina. So Hakanpää from Finland. Are any of them numbered? Yeah, well, I'll show you. Yeah, I guess I should show you the back of the cards. Okay, so yeah, I have a habit of forgetting to show the back of the cards. JJ, so yeah, they're number 650. This is the 2022 Upper Deck Extended Series. So sometimes Upper Deck does extra cards and all that. So this is a Euro Halak card when he was with the Canucks. Ranger fans will kind of hate on him because Halak was the backup goalie for the Rangers. Now that they got Jonathan Quick to back up Shesterkin, time can tell. So yeah, so the back reads 650 at the top. Reads 650. So 650 of card in the set. He got a long career. He was Montreal in his third season. He actually helped the Habs shock the world by taking down Washington in the first round of the playoffs and then going to the conference finals against Philly, which they've somehow lost. So Jaro Halak, 281 wins. He didn't play that much for Vancouver, if memory serves me right, because he's aiming for win number 300. But he could do it as a Ranger. That would be huge. Next up is a Seattle Kraken by the name of Finn Stun. St. Louis left him unprotected, and Finn Stun has proven St. Louis wrong for getting rid of Finn Stun. People are like done at dinner. Jack Eichel in a Vegas outfit, 2021-22 extended series. That's when he was basically hurt all the time for the Sabres, especially that 2021 season. Only getting 18 points in 21 games before being really injured, and then Vegas decided to take a chance on him. And all that. Eichel had some problems with the Buffalo training staff, if memory serves me right. So yeah, Jack Eichel is a Stanley Cup champion. Betcha Buffalo will be crying in their cereal. Next is another Duck, Isaac Lundstrom from Sweden. Isaac Lundstrom. Teddy Bluger with the Penguins and those nice reverse retros. I don't know if they're reverse retros. I know they're retros because I remember the Penguins having the diagonal. Sometimes I can't speak. Jerseys for the Penguins, yeah. But the big thing about that, before I get to the next card, is the fact that Teddy Bluger, the Penguins, like those jerseys were huge. And the funny thing is, when the Penguins won the Stanley Cup in 91 and 92, they had the triangular penguin. But then all of a sudden, after their second Stanley Cup win, they decided to go with the Pittsburgh diagonal, akin to, the Rangers diagonal, this pattern right here, the Kitchener Rangers, but yeah. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so we're going back to some OPG, and that's his Ito Luostarinen from Finland. A2 Brute. Next is another CHL card from the Canadian Major Juniors. Simon Pinard from the Gatineau Olympique. Oh, what's going on here? What is that? Is that the upvotes? What's that? Oh, sending emojis. Okay, my apologies. You don't have to send emojis if you don't want, JJ. I mean, you know, I'm not forcing you to do anything. But anyway, yes, Simon Pinard from Blainville Bozon, and then he's now with Gatineau. Is that the Gatineau thing? I think so. All right. So anyway, next is Brandon Coe from the Brampton Battalion, North Bay Battalion. Sorry, the battalion, I think it's Brampton still, but no, they moved to North Bay. Yeah, the North Bay Battalion. Battalion Brandon Coe. Next is Malik Merrick, Alsher from, well, he went to Lottie. Now he went to the WHL and plays for Portland. Yeah, that's right. That's Portland's jersey because they had to change their logo because they were the Portland Winterhawks, but they have the Chicago Blackhawks Tomahawks, and correct, PC World kind of changed it. Another Susan Marie Greyhound by the name of Tanner Dickinson. So Tanner Dickinson with the Sioux Greyhounds. Landon Kosier of Prince Albert. Another CHLer, Marc Lajoie Mojoy for Tri-City, which is in the Washington State. I can't remember the three towns I have it, but Tri-City, Washington. Yeah, that's one of the weirdest places in the West to have a hockey team. Okay, another CHLer, Ethan Peters of Edmonton. So Ethan Peters. Another one, Everett. So Michael Gutt. Okay. Connor Bouchard of Tri-City. He's a pretty good player. Bouchard, I think he got drafted in the. Did he? I don't remember. Okay, another one. Oh, here, Sudbury. Mitchell Weeks, a good goalie for Sudbury. And all that. So, yeah, Sudbury, kind of like those jerseys and all that. The Icemen and the Predators. You're a Nashville fan, JJ? Nashville's not that bad. I mean, I think they're a decent team. I know they went to the NHL Finals in 2016 in what they called the Highlighter Series because the Penguins and Predators jerseys and their towels were kind of like yellow highlighters and all that. So, yeah, Predators did kind of get cheated in Game 6, but, they're just missing key parts. Yeah, lots of teams are missing key parts. Okay, here's one from the Sherbrooke Phoenix, David Spacek. Another one, Medicine Hat. That's Garen Borkland, the goalie from Medicine Hat. Decent goalie. Here's an OHLer, 67s, Jack Mattier. Selected 4th round by Nashville. Okay. So Jack Mattier. Okay. Oh. Jeez. What are my freaking manners? If that was a Nashville Predator player, then why? Yeah. JJ, this is a Nashville Predator. He was drafted by the Predators. Jack Mattier. Heard of him or no? But yeah, Mattier. Or unless he got traded from the Predators. I mean, this is 2021. This is 2021. This is a 2021 card, so a couple years ago. All right. Yeah, Michael, you probably missed it, but I did talk about one Nashville Predator, Michael Granlund, but, yeah, I have the Michael Granlund card. I put them all in an area. Hold on one sec, JJ. I might have it. Where did I put it? I had the card. I had the Nashville card. I think that was the only card I had. The Predators. Rats. No. Or what? Or did I make? No, I think I made a mistake. Oh well. Shit. Sorry. Anywho. All right. So this is another Portland Winterhawk. Great. Gabe Klassen. Sarnia's Marco Sikic. Well, I know it's in the Guelph jersey, but he got traded to Sarnia. James Malatesta. I don't know if he would have been eligible to compete in the 2023 World Cup for Quebec when they won the title. I think he is. Malatesta. Sounds familiar. I feel like he was the hero for the Ramparts. Okay, let me just check. I'm just thinking here. His name sounds familiar. Yeah. Doing this with Malatesta. Stats and news. Yeah, he drafted. Did he play for the? Yes, he did play for the Ramparts. 37 goals in 55 games, and yes, he was part of the team that won the Memorial Cup. I knew that name sounded familiar. So yeah, Malatesta. Sweet. The more you know. Okay, next is from the Hamilton Bulldogs, George Diaco. Now Hamilton actually, yeah, there used to be an NHL team called the Hamilton Bulldogs back in the 1920s in the NHL, but they actually moved to New York to become the Americans, mostly because in 1925 the NHL went from a 24 game schedule to a 30 game schedule. Now remember, hockey was way different a century ago. So the fact of the matter is that, they wanted to be paid. The Hamilton players wanted to be paid for the 6 extra games. Well, they were added because Boston and the Montreal Maroons were added into the NHL. So yeah, they actually were tops in the NHL, but are you going to be streaming tonight or tomorrow? No, I'm afraid not. This is just a one-off for a little bit. It will probably be a little bit of time before I stream again. Like I have other projects that are not streaming, but making games and all that. If you go to my page, JJ Cutter Historical, having to create the sports catastrophes, Cutter does sports grids, and the PC sporting games and all that takes a while of time, and then just making the videos and all that. But yeah, I'm not streaming for a little bit. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But anyway, yeah, the Hamilton Bulldog story. No, wait, they were the Hamilton Tigers. What the hell was I thinking? Damn it. It's the Hamilton Tigers that were the NHL team. The Bulldogs. Yeah, but the Hamilton Bulldogs are actually the Brantford Bulldogs. Before they're trying to renovate Cops Coliseum again. Why, I don't know. But anyway, yeah. Okay, next up is Tommy Cormier from Victoriaville. Well, I know, yeah. Well, yeah, the Victoriaville guy, Tommy Cormier. Another CHLer, Niagara Falls is Juan Copeland. Yeah, the Niagara Ice Dogs. Okay, here we go. Here's some NHLers. Alec Martinez of the Vegas Golden Knights, his 2022 Upper Deck Series 2 card, number 430. The Eric Ranger fans will hate this guy forever because of what he did 2014, winning the Stanley Cup in overtime, Game 5. Yeah, ugly. But he won the Stanley Cup this year with Vegas. But here's the thing about Alec Martinez. People forget about his overtime goal that sunk Chicago in the conference finals. Without Martinez's overtime goal in Game 7 against Chicago, the Kings would not have been in the Stanley Cup finals. They would have been facing it would have been Blackhawks Rangers original 6 final. Anyway, let's switch up again. Let's go with Igor. Number 371 in Series 2 for your New York Ranger fans. Yep, Igor, his second season, 35 games, got 16 wins. Yeah, Igor was pretty big and all that. He came shortly. He was 10-2 in his first season in 2020. And everyone was like, man, this guy's going to usurp Henrik Lundqvist and all that. He kind of did. But yeah, Shesterkin is a superstar and all that. Yeah. All right, here's the Leaf card of their reverse retros, which are like black. 1970s card. Gray should not be on a Leafs jersey. And that's Jimmy Fessy. Sorry. He played for the Rangers for 3 years, and then he went to Buffalo, and then he went back to and then he went to Toronto, and all that. The Rangers actually picked him up for a tryout contract, and then he surprised everyone by doing well with the Rangers. So you got seen those pesky reverse retro jerseys. Boston, Chris Wagner of the Bruins, who went through a lot. His first season, he went through Anaheim, then Colorado, then Anaheim again. And then 2018, he went to the Islanders, and now Bruins for a few years. But Chris Wagner, yep. Dominic Calhoun of the Oiler Drops. It was Blackhawks, then Pittsburgh and Buffalo. Now he's gone to Edmonton. Eric Brunson of the Senators, defenseman. So he's been well traveled. Panthers, Canucks, Pittsburgh, Anaheim, now Ottawa. Brunson. So, yeah, the Senators really wanted him and all that. Anthony Duclair, another former Ranger, for a few years. For one season? It says 7 seasons, NHL season. So he only was there for 1 year with the Rangers, and then he got traded to the Coyotes, did well, then went to Chicago, then to Columbus, then to Ottawa. Thank you for streaming. I have some errands to attend to. Yeah, no problem, JJ. No problem at all. I will definitely check out your videos. Yeah, a fan's a fan. I'll take whatever I can get. But anyway, yeah. So Anthony Duclair, the Panthers and the Senators and all that. He's well traveled. I think he's like on his 10th team or something like that. Zach Aston Reese of the Penguins. It's weird how you have to use double hyphenated name. But the funny thing is that when the Rangers had Matt Zuccarello the first few seasons, he was Matt Zuccarello Awesome. And you could see that in a few NHL games. And then he changed it to just Zuccarello. Mike Smith of the Edmonton Oilers. Kind of cool with that helmet and all that. It looks like he's wearing the old style cage shirt helmet, but no, he's wearing the normal thing. Yeah, he started his career with the Dallas Stars in 2006, all the way back. And then he went to Tampa for some years. Then to Phoenix, becoming the face of Phoenix is goaltending. Then to Calgary for a few years, then to Edmonton. So, yeah. Amazing what he could do. Mike Smith, I don't know if he got to 300 wins. I don't think he did. Regardless, Connor Murphy, Coyotes / Blackhawks and all that. Connor Murphy of the Blackhawks. Tyler Bertuzzi, you know his uncle is the great Todd Bertuzzi, not the son, but the uncle. Yeah, 21 goals in 71 games. Yeah, Tyler Bertuzzi was a pretty good player for Detroit, and then they got rid of him. And then next is back to the OPG series, Sean Walker of the Kings. Kyler Yamamoto-san from the Edmonton Oilers. Yamamoto from Spokane, Washington, but he has Japanese ancestry. Of course, I'm a Japanese watcher. And then you got yourself Kyle Clifford of the Blues. This was his card with the Blues. I know the Leafs, he was a lifelong King before being traded to Toronto. And Kyle Clifford was involved in a major play in NHL history. On February 22nd, 2020, he actually bumped into Peter Mrazek of the Carolina Hurricanes, who was trying to make a play in front of the net. Clifford was originally booted from the game, but was given a 2-minute penalty after review. But that meant that David Ayres had to be in the net for the Carolina Hurricanes. And guess what? He beat the Leafs. Not good. Anyway, got that. James Reimer, speaking of Leafs and all that, former Leaf goalie James Reimer, he was actually the starting goalie for that game for Carolina against Toronto, but then he injured his knee and all that early in the first period, and then they had to go in Mrazek. He got hurt, and then they used Ayres. So, yeah, he was a Leaf. He was pretty good. Optimus Prime, they called him, before they traded him to San Jose. But, yeah, James Reimer actually had, a concussion? Or I think he had a concussion that in a game against Montreal that kind of ruined his career. Here's Daniel Sprong from Holland. If Steven Vogel's watching, yeah, this is the Dutch hockey player by the name of Daniel Sprong. I have his card. Buffalo's Reinhardt very good player for the Sabres and all that. Sam Reinhart for Buffalo. Buffalo hasn't been to the Stanley Cup playoffs since 2011, so they're the NHL drought leader. Next is Nate Schmidt with the Canucks. I know he played for Vegas after Washington got rid of him, and he nearly won the Stanley Cup against his former team. Well, Golden Knights and Caps, but the Canucks decided we need this guy. And finally, Malcolm Subban of the Blackhawks. I know he was a Bruins lifer, minor leaguer, and then Vegas snatched him at the expansion draft, and he helped Vegas out doing pretty well. So, yeah, Malcolm Subban. Yeah, PK's brother was a goalie. Didn't know that, huh? All right, so I got a few more card packs left. So I know you'd probably be like, weren't you supposed to do something? Yeah. Hang on. I know it's not that. When I did my first break, I said, talk about my 2 Blue Jay games I went to in real life. So let me talk about it for a few minutes. All right, so I hadn't been to a Blue Jays game since 2007. I've had chances, but they've fallen by the wayside. I mean, my brothers promised me to take me games. My friend Bill Lang promised to take me to games. Lots of people promised to take me to games, and I'm like, at the last minute, I'm like, fuck this. Anyway, so my church group in 2020 was supposed to go to see the Jays in June against the Texas Rangers. The problem was that was when COVID hits, so I couldn't watch the Jays then. And of course, with COVID restrictions, the next few years is like few restrictions. And then one of my former supervisors at work told me, she said, if I get you Blue Jay tickets, would you go? And I said, well, sure, thinking that, she's going to pull the rug under my feet. And I'm like, I'm not believing her. And then she calls me in the middle of one day and says, how would you like to go to the Jays game on July 15th against the Diamondbacks? And I'm like, really? Yeah. So everything got arranged. My supervisor at work, my warehouse supervisor, if you will, agreed to take me and all that. So anyway, he did. And, it was fun. I got to go to my first Blue Jay game in 16 years. I have the sign that I have. I might as well show you the sign I took with it to this game. 1 sec. That's not the right one. Oh, there it is. I don't know why I have so many signs. Signs everywhere. Signs. Oh, the feeling. Oh, my mind. Obviously, don't know the thing. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, this is the whole sign I took with me. So yeah, hopefully you see that. Because, I gotta look. Yep, so see at the top it says first Blue Jay game, Jays game in 16 years. Thanks, Fran. That's the supervisor. And it says Canadian Tire 634 for life. 674. Of course, I'm reading this off the mirror thing. And then I read off like the games and all that, and what year I was there, and the result against the team. So it'd be Texas, Kansas City, Texas, Seattle, Detroit, Kansas City, Yankees, Atlanta, Mets, Yankees, Boston, Baltimore, Tampa, Yankees, Chicago White Sox, Kansas City, and Seattle. And of course, the Arizona thing, I forgot to, say. So anyway. All right, so okay, there we go. So I just added the 2 teams. I just added 2 more. See? You see there? Yep, since win against Arizona, I win versus Anaheim. I still call them Anaheim, even though they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Or properly, they're the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of California, of the Western United States, the West Coast of the continental United States of North America. That's a joke. And then it says, but the first without my dad. It says Ron Dyer, 1947 to 2020. I still miss you. Don't worry, it's in a nice place. But yeah, That was shocking. So yeah, so we saw the game against Arizona. Actually, me and my supervisor missed the first inning and a half, and I was pissed off, of course. But we got to see Diamondbacks were up like what 2-0 or 2-1, and then all of a sudden the Jays came back to win that game like 5-2, if memory serves me right. Yeah, because Romano just got hurt in the All-Star game, so he couldn't pitch. So it was Jimmy Garcia. But then, ironically enough, of course, my men's group at church actually was running tickets to see the Blue Jays game. Like in May, they set up for the game on the 29th of July, which was just last Saturday, against the Angels. And like, wow, to see Trout and Ohtani play and all that. There were 31 of us who got to see that game live. There were some kids there. Not a lot of female representation, which sucked. All that. I mean, I wish more wives came to see the ball game with their husbands and all that. And they weren't like young men. It was a mixture of young men and old men and all that. Like, people in their 60s, 70s and all them. But yeah, some main elders of the church and all that. So yeah, so we had to get to the church at 11:30 to get on the bus by lunchtime and then drive to Toronto. And then by 2:30 we got to the Rogers Center and got our seats and all that. Section 536. So we were in the 500s on Saturday. And I do have a fear of heights, but I didn't feel like I was way above it. Way above everyone else. I felt like I was close in the 300 or 400 section, but yeah. But yeah, the Jays won the game 6-1. Angels left a lot of men on base. If you look at my Facebook, you know the scorecard and all that. To prove I went to that game. I didn't last time. I was like, fuck. But regardless. Anyway, so yeah, so Jays won twice, and I'm happy as can be, and all that stuff. Got a bit of a headache. I wonder if it's the alcohol or something like that. I'm not used to drinking all the time. Yeah, okay. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. So yeah, so let's get this finished off with 2 more sets, and then we'll call it a day. I wonder if that's Bill trying to reach me or something. Well, regardless, ouch. Sorry about that. All right, so let's get the card sets here. Make sure that. Okay, so all right, so here we go. First off, this is Upper Deck 2021-ish. Seth Jones of the Chicago Blackhawks. Seth Jones, Predators and Blue Jackets player. I think Colorado drafted him like first overall or something. Memory serves me right. No, I thought he was with Colorado. Oh, Seth Jones went to Colorado games as a youngster because Popeye Jones, his father, played for the Nuggets in the NBA. But yeah, Seth Jones for the Predators and Blue Jackets. He was good with Columbus. He was one of their best players. But then he went to Chicago, and everyone's like, "Ah, man, Columbus is like, what the hell?" Okay, next is Caleb Jones, another Chicago player. He went from Arlington, Texas. Yeah, so Caleb Jones. Zach Parise in a New York Islanders jersey after spending his season with his career with the Devils in the Wild. Minnesota signed him to that crazy 8-year contract. He stayed around for Minnesota, and then they finally dumped him off. And Parise for the Islanders, Zach Parise's dad, JP Parise, actually was a hero in Cupcake Land, or the New York Islanders to the common folk. 1975, in the first round against the New York Rangers, he scored a goal 11 seconds into overtime, which was the fastest goal in an NHL overtime in the playoffs until Brian Skrulin broke that mark with 9 seconds back in 1986. So yeah, so Parise's goal allegedly, brought down the house and kind of ruined things. All that. I'm actually going to go to my bookshelf for 1 second. well, offshoot of my bookshelf, if you will, because fortunately for me, it's this book. All right, so I'm gonna do something stupid. I'm going to show you this book. It's called The Top 100 Villains in the New York Rangers History by this guy named Sean McCaffrey. And he's done tons of books and all that on tips of the trade. He did a 4-volume book set on every trade in New York Rangers history. Like, this guy overanalyzes a lot of things, but he reminds me of me. But yeah, and the weird thing about him is he's only 3 years older than I am. So he was born in 1982 and I was born in 1985. So yeah, so he's done a lot of things. Now let me see about the J.P. Parise chapter. Here we go. So here we go. So you see down here, J.P. Parise, and he talks about J.P. Parise. So yeah, so I'll show you his pages from his book and all that. Some of his rankings are based on jersey number, not by actual villainy, which kind of pissed me off. So yeah, so that's going to show you his books and all that. So he says that J.P. Parise is a Ranger killer because his goal actually got the Rangers to dump off many of their high impact players and to make the trade to get Phil Esposito and Derek Sanderson. Yeah, there's a picture here I can't really show you about some other guy. So yeah. So he says that J.P. Parise's goal killed the Rangers and all that and their momentum. I call bullshit because, the Rangers beat the Islanders in the 1979 playoffs. But yeah, maybe he's got a point. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Regardless. So back to the hockey cards. Zach Bogosian with the Tampa Bay Lightning. I forgot the Leafs had him. 2021, he had the Leafs had him for 45 games. Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah, with the Thrashers/Jets. Bogosian, I think, is one of only a handful of players who played in the Atlanta organization that still played as a member of the Atlanta Thrashers who are still in the NHL to this day. I think Brian Little's one of them too, but Zach Bogosian, I forgot he was a Atlanta Thrasher, before they moved to Winnipeg. Calgary, Blake Coleman. Devils had him, and then, he was with Tampa for the 2020 and 2021 Stanley Cup Finals, and then he went to Calgary. Bet you they missed him. Next is Isaac Lundstrom. I know I had him. Andrew Ladd of the Phoenix Coyotes. He played for the Thrashers for the 2011 season the year before they moved to Winnipeg. So yeah, so he was there with the Jets for 4 seasons before moving on to the Blackhawks for half a year and then went to the Cupcakes and now he's a Coyote. So yeah, Andrew Ladd, he won the Cup in 06 with the Canes, but yeah, he was a Thrasher. Forgot about that. Next up is Pavel Buchnevich of the Blues. This was his first card after he was traded from the Rangers to the Blues. He was pretty good for the Rangers, pair of 20-goal seasons, but they couldn't afford to keep him, so he went to St. Louis, and he has done pretty well since. The Winter Soldier, as they call him in Blue Shirt Underground land. Alex Formenton from King City. So, yeah, in those weird Condom Man jerseys. Connor McMichael. So when Washington needed him, so Connor McMichael. Travis Hamonic of the the Canucks. He was an Islanders great defenseman, and then he went to Calgary, now Vancouver. Hamonic. Next is Anthony Mantha of the Washington. When Detroit had him for a pair of 20-goal seasons, and then they traded him to Washington for the trade deadline. But yeah, Anthony Mantha, he's pretty good. Nikita Kucherov, number 86 in your program, one of the best Tampa players of all time. Kucherov got hurt during the 2021 season because you would have probably seen some numbers from Kucherov. But yeah, you see there? So yeah. Oh man, is the sun Like, I don't think anyone. Oh, the worst part is no one's watching. So I guess maybe it is the sun's bouncing off the back of the cards. So I guess I'm gonna have to turn the lights on. I don't want to. Jeff, you have to. Fine. Oh boy. Bear in mind, no one's in the house with me, so. Sorry about that. Yeah, maybe it'll be easier to see the cards if I have my light on. But whatever. All right. So anyway, Phillies Nicola Obe Kubo. And I'm like, what is it about hyphenated names? Got him. Johnny Gaudreau in a Calgary uniform. This was before his card. Well, yeah, Johnny Gaudreau and all that. Before he went to Columbus this past season. So, Philip Zadina of the Red Wings. So Zadina's card. Thatcher Demko of the Canucks. Good backup goalie that I think became the starting goalie in Vancouver. And Braden Holtby was just shoveled out of the way, and so was Yara Halak. Jack Hughes, we're going to the 2022 Upper Decks. Jack Hughes, after his second season with the Devils, the first overall pick in the 2019 draft, the Devils winning the draft lottery ahead of the New York Rangers, and it was either Jack Hughes or Capo Caco to be the number one pick, and the Devils took Hughes, and the Rangers took Caco, and a lot of Ranger fans have regretted that move. Next up is Jack Eichel, same Vegas card, I guess, so he goes into that pile. Isaac Lindstrom, what is with that guy? Jamie Olysyanek, he was a Dallas Stars defensive star, and he's now at Seattle. This was his first card with the Kraken. Olysyanek's sister Penny actually is a famous swimmer who's won 6 Olympic medals for Canada. So that's amazing. Garnet Hathaway from Maine, but he's with the Washington Capitals. Miss Hathaway, if you will. Carson Soucy, Minnesota. Carson Soucy, okay. What position does he play? They won't give it. They don't tell me what position he plays, which is stupid. You see a Kraken, but they don't tell me what position he's at. Not even on the front of the card, but Carson Soucy. Never know him. Corey Perry with Tampa. This is his 21-22 Upper Deck card. He was a Duck lifer for a while and then decided to go to Dallas. Well, free agency to Dallas. They went to the 2020 Stanley Cup Finals in that COVID-shortened season, lost to Tampa, and then he decides, I'm going to go to Montreal. And when would you know it? He was part of another Stanley Cup finalist team with the Habitants. And when did you know it? He lost to Tampa. So he's like, if you can't beat him, join him. So guess what? He joined Tampa. And he's trying to get that Stanley Cup he always wanted. Although he wanted in 07. Next up is Nate Schmidt for Winnipeg. I think I did Nate Schmidt card. Yeah, I did a Nate Schmidt card. So earlier on the stream, Cody Ceci of the Oil Drops. The Leafs had him for one season, but Ceci went to Edmonton. Kind of a big move. Ottawa traded him to Toronto for Connor Brown, if memory serves me right. And then Ceci did okay, but not enough for Leaf fans to be pleased. Jujhar Kahira, the Punjab guy from Edmonton. So he does that. Yeah, there's nobody watching, so I'm going to go through these quickly. Andrew Cugliano in a Sharks jersey. All that, Oilers and Ducks. And then the Stars, now the Sharks. Carter Rowney of the Red Wings. So Carter Rowney. Okay. Brendan Dillon of Winnipeg. I know he's Sharks defenseman and all that, but now he's with Winnipeg. Well, as of the 2021-22 Upper Deck Extended Series. Ryan Ellis, who was with the Predators for 10 seasons and then left to go to Philly. Kind of dumb. I mean, Ryan Ellis was the face of Nashville. And poor JJ, I bet you when he sees the replay, He's like, yeah, I remember who Ryan Ellis is. I know he was a Nashville Predator superstar. Now I'm scored with the Flyers. Ryan Ellis was a pretty good Nashville Predator. Played for the Guelph Storm and members to be right in the OHL. Ryan Sheehan, he was a Red Wings guy and then bounced around Pittsburgh, Florida, Edmonton, Buffalo, and then Buffalo left him unprotected for Sheehan to join Seattle. And now we got Vincent Hinostroza in a Buffalo outfit and all that. Hinostroza feels like an Italian pastry. Jordan Eberle as a member of the Kraken. So yeah, wait, that's no. My hair is getting messed up. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, him. Jordan Eberle, Oilers and Islanders, and then the Islanders left him unprotected. And then he picked up with Seattle. So yeah, Jordan Eberle, probably Seattle's best guy there. Brett Howden for the Vegas. Well, the Rangers had him for a few years, and then he decided to go to Vegas, and he's won a Stanley Cup as a member of the Golden Knights. Sven Barchi of Vegas. I don't know if Barchi was on the Vegas Knights this year when they won the Cup, but Barchi, yeah, that would be nice if he won the Cup. David Savard, he was part of Columbus for a while, and then he went to Tampa for half a season, and I think he was part of the 2021 Stanley Cup Finals team, Stanley Cup winning team, and then he joined Montreal. He's from Quebec, so it's always a Quebecer's dream to play for the Montreal Canadiens. Alex Carrier from Quebec City, playing for Nashville. There you go, JJ. I got another Nashville Predator, Alex Carrier. Wonder if he still plays for Nashville. Matthew Phillips. Oh, an AHL card from the Stockton Heat for Calgary's Farm Club. Matthew Phillips. Damian Giroux of the Iowa Wild. So he's a Minnesota prospect, or he was, Damian Giroux. Eric Brandstrom with Belleville, or as in the Ottawa Farm Club, Brandstrom. So yeah, he's done quite well. Eric Brandstrom. Calvin Pickard for Grand Rapids. So he's with Detroit's Farm Club. Calvin Pickard. I think he went to Seattle, didn't he? Jake Lecision for Henderson Silver Knights. Jake Lecision. Brogan Rafferty of the San Diego Gulls / Anaheim. So Rafferty there. Alexei Heboniemi of Charlotte. All that. I think that's Carolina's Farm Club. Jacob McDonald of the Colorado Eagles. That's Colorado's Farm Club. Jacob McDonald. Brendan Guel of the San Diego Gulls. Alexei Turobchenko of the Thunderbirds. Springfield Thunderbirds of the St. Louis Farm Club. Rasmus Dahlin, 2021 SP Authentic Upper Deck. Rasmus Dahlin. Buffalo really taking a shine to him. Jordan Stahl for Carolina. Many years in the NHL, but Carolina, there's Jordan Stahl. And Yanni Gourde of Tampa Bay. So I just got to take one sec here before I get to the last card pack. And all that. So yeah, so Bill's trying to find me. I guess I'm so busy with my stream, I forgot about my phone being there. And, I don't really want to check my phone during my stream and interrupt my train of thought. So, yeah, he'll probably see the last 5 minutes of it. I'm actually shocked he wants to know more about my channel and all that. But whatever. Yeah. I gotta get rid of my spin curl. My hair. Guess I didn't. Fuck. I didn't fuck? Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, so last group of cards. And all that I got from there. I actually got cards from Dollarama, but I'll do that for another time. I'll figure out a time to do that. Those two. Okay, garbage. All right, so just making sure that all the cards and all that are the same, like as in like the same way. All right, here we go. All right, so got some OPGs from 2022 again. Rupe Hints. What a weird name. Rope Hints. A rope. I'll rope you in. Next is Kevin Fiala of the Minnesota Wild. So JJ, another former Predator, before he went to Minnesota, Kevin Fiala. So yeah, Kevin Fiala has done much better leaving Nashville. Sorry to say that. Ian Mitchell of Chicago. Didn't know he was a player in the NHL. Anthony Duclair, another Panther. Kind of got a Panther card of Anthony Duclair. So basically, yeah, I take that one out. Sean Monahan of the Calgary Flames. If Bill is my viewer, there's a Sean Monahan card right here, right now. So Sean Monahan, because Bill actually went to Sean Monahan's wedding, which was weird. Because the Monahan family has a connection to Bill's wife's family, the Hackett's. Is it the Hewitts? No, it's the Hackett's. Yeah, Hackett. Why am I thinking Hewitt? Jennifer Love Hewitt, I guess. Stupid me. Oh boy, I think I ticked them off. But anyway, yeah. So regardless of that, yeah, Sean Monahan. Yeah, he went to that wedding. All that. Kind of cool. I wanted Bill to get the Sean Monahan card and sign it for him. But whatever. Okay, Ryan Polak of the New York Islanders. 17 points in 56 games. The Islanders, Polak. Lars Eller, he was a Montreal icon, then went to Washington, and he's played there. Surprised he's only played for 2 teams. Lars Eller. I thought he would play for more. Duncan Keith for the Blackhawks. 2021-16 NHL seasons. Yeah, Duncan Keith, longtime Chicago Blackhawk. You rarely see a guy go through 16 seasons with one team, and just one team. Yeah, Chicago will probably retire as number 2. Ryan Suter, Minnesota Wild. He was a former National Predator, JJ. And then he went to Minnesota and has been Minnesota forever and ever, seemingly according to this hockey card from 2022. So, yes, Ryan Suter. Then you got yourself Andrei Shevchenkov. Carolina really knows how to deal with this guy. Shevchenkov. So, yeah, he's a good player. Max Domi. Oh, now OPG did these weird cards with the player's face in a circle, his position, and then on the back, kind of a weird look on the back. So Max Domi, Columbus. Doby. Yep, his first year with Columbus after being a few years with Coyotes and a couple years with the Habs. Well, Max Domi actually is a type 1 diabetic. And Max Domi, of course, is the son of Ty Domi, who was a Leafs pugilist and a fan favorite. Now, Max is now a Toronto Maple Leaf for the 2023-24 season as is. But, yeah, it's funny because if I remember correctly, yeah, in 2015, when he was still with the London Knights, I got Kitchener Ranger tickets to face London, and Max Domi was on that team. Me and Bill were like chanting Domi's name, like saying Domi, 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 Do Re Mi. I wish we went with that chant. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's what happened. I keep thinking I might have to edit a few minutes out of my video, but whatever. Um, Next card is a Peter Engvall for the Leafs. Not really much of a player for the Leafs. Yeah, I kind of hate the circle and all that. Yeah, they want to go back to the olden days, but yeah, give me some action. Cam Fowler of the Ducks. Fowler. Yep, over 730 games with the Ducks and all that. The funny thing about Cam Fowler, and Blue Shirt Underground people will probably be hating on me on this, is that, the Raiders could have gotten Cam Fowler in the draft of 2010 and all that. But they decided to go for Dylan Makarov, and everyone was upset, calling fire, saver, saver. Makarov didn't really work out for the Rangers in the farm system. And Cam Fowler, well, he went right away to the Ducks, and it worked. Next is Nick Suzuki for the Habitants, his second year with that team. Next is Tuukka Rask with the Bruins, winding down his career, over 300 wins with the Boston Bruins. Iconic. I mean, if you're a Leaf fan like yours truly, it's like, oh, that guy. Why did you give up Tuukka Rask for the one-of-one Andrew Raycroft after the 06 season? Could have got rid of Justin Pogge, because the Leafs had two very good prospects, but they wanted to keep Canadian and not want to buy foreign, and it bit us in the ass. Next up is William Carrier of the Vegas Golden Knights. Buffalo left him unprotected. Carrier played for the Knights. Jaden Schwartz of the Blues. So that's a weird card. 154 goals for Jaden Schwartz. iPhone Blue at the time. Anthony Bouvellier of the Islanders. So, yeah, 2022 OPG. Zach Werenski of Columbus. I remember Zach Werenski being a good Columbus Blue Jacket. Brandon Tanev of the Penguins. He went to the Jets first, then the Penguins, so Brandon Tanev. Radek Faksa from our Kitchener Rangers. So, yeah, Radek Faksa. Decent player for Dallas, but he was a Kitchener Ranger first. Luke Kunin, Nashville Predator JJ. Kunin. So we got him. Rasmus Dahlin, another Sabre, another card of Rasmus Dahlin. He goes into the duplicates. Jacob Larson of the Ducks. Casey DeSmith, goalie for the Penguins. Trying to be the number one goalie, but Tristan Jarry keeps getting in his way. So Casey DeSmith. It should be Casey DePenguin. Ryan Polak, another one of his cards. Capo Caco. Hey, I talked about Capo Caco. We're going to talk about Jack Hughes, but yeah, there's Capo Caco. First card, 23 points in 66 games. Their first season before COVID ruined it, and then 17 points in 48 games once everything happened. So yeah, so Capo Caco. And then Jared Anderson Dolan. Yeah, as I said, what is about hyphenated names and all that? And then Teddy Bluger, got a card of him earlier in the stream. Bluger. Mike Smith, same thing. Got a card of him earlier in the stream, so he's in the duplicates pile. Vince Dunn with the Blues, but I already have his card with the Seattle team. Gino Malkin, yeah, Gino Malkin, lifelong Penguin. 2021, that was 15 years as a Penguin player. And as I said, you rarely get to see players play that long with just one team. Okay, back to the OPGs, the decent OPGs. Chris Tierney for the Senators. Chris Tierney. Ryan Miller of the Ducks. He was a decent goalie for the Sabres. He was basically Buffalo's best goalie ever, if you will, after Hasek. And then he got traded to St. Louis for a stretch drive, then went to Vancouver for 3 seasons before the Ducks picked him up and made him basically a backup goalie. So, yeah, Ryan Miller had a very interesting career with Buffalo, among all teams. Tyler Myers of the Canucks. Yeah, he was a Buffalo icon. Then he got traded to Winnipeg, 6'8", yeah. And then Vancouver has had him for a few years. So Tyler Myers knows what to do in front of the net. JT Compher for Colorado. This was before he had a breakout season in 2022 with the Avalanche. And that's why Compher is well loved. And then Dylan Larkin of the Red Wings. There you go, score one time. But Dylan Larkin, Michigan born. So, yeah, he was captain. Wow, cool. Nick Ehlers. I pulled one of his cards out earlier. Jasper Bratt. Same thing. Jeff Skinner, Kitchener in the Buffalo Sabres outfit. Skinner's kind of a Ranger killer. And all that. Carolina and Buffalo scoring 265 goals. He was good. He's good. He's a good player and all that. He should stay in Carolina, though. Can't skip. You know what I mean. Steven Stamkos in a SP Authentic. So, yeah, Stamkos in 2020. And then 2021, he just basically missed the whole year due to injury. Then you got Sean Monahan. Another Sean Monahan. Boy, oh boy. They won't like that. Alex Tuch. You heard Mike Tuckus. Minnesota had him, but then he left for Minnesota. I mean, for Vegas in the expansion draft. But yeah, Tuch, I think, has been part of a Stanley Cup champion. Eric Stahl with the Sabres. Yeah, Carolina had him for a while, and then the Rangers picked him up for the 2016 stretch drive where he was like -6, and then Minnesota picked him up for a few years, and then he went to Buffalo. And so Eric Stahl's with the Sabres. It's weird how Jordan, Jarrett, and Eric Stahl are all still in the NHL. Quinn Hughes of the Canucks. Everyone was pining for this Vancouver guy from Orlando, Florida. I didn't know he was from Florida, but yeah, Quinn Hughes, great defenseman for Vancouver. I know Luke Hughes plays for the Devils. Seth Jones, Columbus. I already have a card of Seth Jones, so they're in that pile. Keith Yandel of the Panthers. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins of Edmonton, the Nuge, who's been slowing down a little bit. Brock Besser. Vancouver really likes this guy and all that, so he knows what's up. And finally, Alex Barkov for the Panthers. So Barkov doing his job with the Panthers organization. So that's about it for those cards. I have plenty of duplicates. I think what I'll probably do is just do another stream of the cards from Dollarama, but you know, I've wasted your time for almost an hour and 20 minutes, so I'm going to just leave it at that. I'd like to thank JJ's iPod for his support of my channel and for the other people who just walked in and walked out of my stream and all that. You know, I'd like to thank YouTube for putting up with my crap. I'd like to thank the Almighty God and my dad and everything for their influences on me. And I'd like to thank, you know, the streaming audience after the episode, probably to just give me some shit. But whatever happens, happens. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Jeff Diamond. Adieu.